So with the most recent chapter of One Piece, chapter 985, there are two main conversations the community is having. Kaido's plan, the plan he laid out with the ancient weapons and getting the One Piece and all that, and Orochi's death, quote unquote death, the beheading of the one and only Orochi. I say good riddance, but the talk in the community right now, is he alive or is he dead? And with, recent events, the most recent event we had was Pound popping up alive in a cover story, which just like, come on, man. Like, that's not, it wasn't necessary. That's why it made so many people upset. With that being a thing, and it's still speculations about Pedro being alive. Like, people are that afraid. People don't trust Oda that much because, for lack of a better term, he's been that soft in recent memory. Now, if you go to backstories, Oda kills off whatever. I mean, Oda killed off a newborn baby, for God's sake, in Senior's Pink flashback. So Oda doesn't have a problem showing that characters die. He has a problem showing that characters die in present day, which is why people have a lack of trust in what just happened with Orochi. Now, I say this situation is different, and the speculation is warranted because it's not just the lack of trusting in Oda, but there's also elements within the One Piece story that supports Orochi being alive. One, let's start with the most obvious one, his devil fruit itself, Yamata no Orochi. Now, this is the main factor that everyone believes is how Orochi's going to be alive, because as you know in Greek mythology, a Hydra, if you cut off one of his heads, tend to grow more heads. Simple as that. Orochi got his head plopped off. Easy, devil fruit, do his magic, whatever it's going to do, pop a new head on or whatever it's going to do, and boom, Orochi is good as new. Now, maybe Orochi didn't know about this power because he never got his head chopped off before. Kaido didn't know about it because Orochi didn't know about it. You know what I mean? So Kaido probably actually thinks that Orochi is dead, but Orochi turns out to be alive. Now, narrative-wise, why Orochi should still be alive, because I think he is. Even though he does need to die by the end of this arc, I still do think he's still alive because of the narrative points that are still in the story. Princess Iori, pleasure to kill Orochi. She had all that thing going on with the past. She worked for Orochi for all these years, and then she pledged to kill Orochi, and then Kaido just randomly slices off his head, and that's it? So no character development for Princess Iori in that way? What about Momonosuke and living in his father's shadow? Orochi being a huge factor in Oden's death. Momonosuke need to have some confrontation with Orochi. Even though I think Momonosuke and Kaido has kind of a weird relationship going on with them, so we'll see where that goes. But I do think Momonosuke and Orochi need to have some type of confrontation. And then you get to the non-red scabbards and where they could go and what they need to do. What they need to do in order to progress the story with Orochi themselves. You got Kanjuro in the mix, who was, I would argue, is Orochi's main weapon against the scabbards. And the scabbards have this thing. You got Denjiro, who, come on, man, his whole physique changed just because of the anger he felt that Orochi did what he did. Orochi and Kaido, but mostly Orochi, did what he did to Oden. And the scabbards, Kinemon, and all these guys, they need to have this confrontation with Orochi because that is the main guy who brought Kaido there to do all this shit. And now they're stuck with Kaido because Kaido was actually the real threat. If it was just Orochi, come on, it will already be over with. But Kaido was the main threat. Now, what I actually do think is going to happen, because as you just seen, Kaido in the most recent chapter just told Orochi Samurai, choose. You're going to choose to be with us or you're going to die. I think what's going to happen, and I think where Oda is going to go with this, is that Orochi is going to slowly lose not slowly, quickly lose everything that he slimed and snaked his way to all these years. He's going to lose it. He's losing a samurai because if the samurai choose to fight, they're going to lose. Like, period. That's going to happen. He's going to lose Kanjuro, his main pawn, because Kanjuro, I think, is a pretty intelligent dude. He's not going to continue to work with Orochi. And for what? For what? To do what? Why were you to assume that Kanjuro will stay there and be completely 100% loyal to Orochi when he doesn't have anything? I don't see Kanjuro like that, and Kanjuro don't seem like that type of guy anyway. He seemed like an asshole, to be honest. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is what Orochi's goals will be. If he's indeed alive, when Orochi's new head pops out of his shoulders, what is his goals going to be? Now, me personally, I think his goal should be to just leave Wano. Just leave, my nigga. Get out of there. You can't do anything. You can't touch Kaido. There ain't anybody you can touch. Just get out of there. Now, what I think he's going to do is he's going to go and try to find Kanjuro, the guy he believes is his most loyal follower, the guy that he trusts the most. What I think is going to happen is that at some point, something's going to go wrong, and Orochi is going to die again by the hands of Kanjuro. I think what Oda is ready to do with this Hydra thing, I think Orochi will die multiple times. I think multiple people will just get it. It's like you jumping somebody and everybody getting a licking. You know what I mean? That's what's happening. Orochi is going to be getting licks by everybody. So Zoro may touch him up. Princess Iori, Momo, Kanjuro, everybody, Kinemon, Denjiro, everybody going to get a chance to touch Orochi. That's what I think is going to happen until somebody figure out how to permanently ice his ass off. Because I don't think Orochi is the type of guy who can just say, you know what, this is it. I had a good run, but I'm done. I think he's too arrogant. I think he thinks too highly of himself, even though he knows he's not strong. And we can see that he's kind of an idiot. Like, let's just keep it a buck. So, when at the end of the day, I think Orochi is going to become a guy to drive other characters' narrative points, other characters' character development. That's what Orochi is still around for, because we don't need nothing else from Orochi as a character himself. So that's what I think is going to happen. Orochi is going to try to slime his way into doing something. He may try to, maybe Kanjuro is that loyal to me. He try to recruit his samurai again, and then we got a battle. A 3-way battle that has the potential to turn to a 4-way battle, to a 5-way battle. It's a lot of stuff that can happen. Because what I'm thinking that could happen if Kanjuro is indeed loyal and Orochi is able to recruit his samurai back, there's going to be Kaido and Big Mom alliance. If that stays together, because that can, at any point, I think we're on, it can easily snap and that can go wrong. But if indeed Kaido and Big Mom stay together, you have Kaido and Big Mom versus the worst generation, basically, is what's going to pop off. You got Orochi, if he's indeed able to recruit his samurai back in the mix, doing whatever. Most likely he's going to be trying to help in some way take down Kaido in the back end. It ain't going to work out for him, but that's what Orochi going to try to do, because Kaido is the guy who's going to take his power away from him. And then you got the Marines, who you telling me they got Drake in the mix spying? They just had that announcement. You think the Marines, at least Sword itself, is not looking like, hold up, what the hell? The official alliance is happening. They're going after the ancient weapons. They're going after One Piece. They're trying to start a war. The world government, the Marines, are going to be paying attention. You got Perospero on his way here, not effing with what Big Mom is doing. So that can, wiggle things out a little bit. And as always, there's always the lingering guy in the background, Blackbeard. So this can turn into pure chaos. And what Oda has been showing us is that this ain't gonna be no straightforward arc like he usually have. Shit is gonna be all over the place. And with that said, man, I'm done, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all for too much longer. I'm out this bitch, man. Like the video if you like the video. Dislike the video if you dislike the video. Subscribe if you want to see more bangers. I'm out this bitch, man. Have a good day and peace.